Good afternoon, good evening, happy Tuesday, the 14th of April. It's good to be back. I have been on a vacation, but I'm back. Again, welcome to Second Touch. This is our evening edition on Tuesdays and Thursday. And Saturday morning, we're in the kitchen. Now, it's good to be back. And today, I will be talking about Liberia, how we have this stuff called the rosy memory bias, where we think everything in the past was good. So we're going to return to the past. We'll return to the past. And that's what I want to talk about today. And that is not a true statement per se. Now, it seems like the more we think we are moving, the more everything stays the same. Okay. So here, what I'm going to talk about. I was at work today when I saw that the young people of Soup were protesting. And I also saw that the um the Joseph Numa Boaka government have decided, in fact, from their inception, from the day they came into government, they have decided that there will be no free speech. That is a constitutional violation. There will be no freedom of assembly. They have beaten people. You know, the very thing that they were fronting on CDC for. Okay, that's what they're doing. And I see majority of you who are already struggling. Some of you have no food to eat. Okay, those who are stealing from you give you low dollar, and then you come on social media to insult. Let me start this conversation by saying to Mr. Alexander Cummings for his write-up today in regards to the coup that they have plotted against the representative of District 10, Yeke Kolumba. Okay, here what I'm going to start up with. I'm going to read this. I'm going to try to read this. Hopefully I can see clearly and concisely. Okay, let's stop the hypocrisy. If you want to know who Alexander Cummings is, Alexander Cummings is the former CEO of Coca-Cola, okay, a global business leader, an American legacy company, very competitive. He also happened to be the founder of the first STEM school in the Republic of Liberia, okay, the Cummings Foundation. He also has a school in a training school in Brewerville, and continue to contribute immensely to the Liberian society, especially to women and survivors of rape and other domestic violence. Okay, he and his wife support safe homes, provide mattresses, bed, other support, financial support for those. And we all know Liberia now is a rape state per se. But let me start here. Stop the hypocrisy. I many times do not agree with Honorable Yeke Kolumba choice of words. However, our commitment to free speech is not tested by the word we like, but rather it is tested by the word that unsettle us. That is the true measure of tolerance and free speech. The House of Representatives claim to be expelling Yeke Kolumba for a statement made about the border. But we all know that they are doing this because of Yeke's fierce opposition to the government he helped bring to power. The thing he may have said about those in power must have cut deep, but we cannot use an isolated comment on this border issue, tie it with a ribbon of treason to get rid of a voice we do not like. Honorable Yeke Koluba, Radical Star is nothing new. During the CDC-led administration, Yeke was tolerated as a necessary voice against the ill of the administration. Today, under the Unity Party-led government, his remarks are certainly grounded for exposure. Okay, that is the height of hypocrisy. This is Alexander Cummings talking. The same firebrand politics once defended cannot now be condemned simply because they target the current regime. Expelling him is not justified. His uncompromising voice, however uncomfortable, is part of Liberia's democratic fabric. To punish him now send a dangerous message that free speech is tolerated only when convenient and silence when uncomfortable. That is not democracy. It is a double standard that we should not accept. This is not a contempt of legislation nor a contempt of court situation. As the latter was with the Prophet Key case. This is invading the providence of the people power to elect the lawmaker of choice. Thousands of Liberians in 2023 voted for Yeke as their choice of district 10 to 6 years. Okay. And while the House may expel a member, such powers should not be exercised loosely, nor as a tool for vengeance. Expelling Yeke will lead to a by-election, which we do not have the money for. Such money could be used toward improving healthcare, education, safe drinking water, etc. Expelling Yeke will not change the price of gasoline, nor will it make LEC stable. It will not reduce the price of goods and services, nor will it create farm to make a market roll. It will not own it. Solve some ego, okay? Cost taxpayer more money and further undermine our young democracy. This in no way benefit the people. I urge those members of the House championing this exposure to channel their focus and energy on issues that benefit Liberia. Mr. Cummings, thank you very much for your voice. I am to yours. Okay. Now, since the legislature have the power to expel legislature, the people need to have a power for recall. So these people, because if you are taking money to export somebody, okay, which is also illegal and criminal, all right? I said this and I will say it again. The boundaries issue or the border issue of Liberia is not an isolated case. This is the case that have been going on for more than 2 centuries, since the 1800s, and came out in the 1900s. We're in 2021, okay? And we are here. Now, what needs to happen is, and I'm talking, I will ask this government to do what they need to do so Liberia can find out where her boundaries are. What is the physical future of Liberia so we all can know? How many of our young people in Liberia, if you told them where are the boundaries, will they know? Where Liberia borders are, will they know? So those are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. Okay, so I also wanted to read, I want to go close, right up. All right, Mr. Cummings is an exposed man a global business leader, okay, who were in charge of building and making sure the growth of the organization, a multi-billion-dollar business. So he's not just some kind of person. Now, we're going to now talk about where Tiawan going first. I need to come back here. And I think I'm going to end this with Tiawan's story. Today, the young people of Liberia, the students of Liberia, got in the street asking for job and justice, okay, economic power. I'm not sure if any of you people know, in Liberia know, in 1989, a communist nation, China, hundreds of thousands of young people, students, got in the streets. It's called Tiananmen Square, to protest. The background of the protest were three things. They wanted political freedom, they wanted economic freedom, and they wanted individual freedom in China. Remember too, China fought for over 20 years civil war. When I hear Liberian people going back and forth with, oh, y'all did this, y'all did that. Let me tell you something. Today is April 14th. I don't condone what happened sometimes in April in Liberia in 1980. Why I don't believe the leadership was supposed to be there. They have been in power for 130 years. I may make some people mad. They have sabotaged the nation. We have a two-wing party, a one political system. Okay. Yes, we have not gotten the best to lead us. All right. China would have regretted and say, you know what? We got rid of the emperor. We broke down the dynasty that had been around for thousands of years. We destroyed our culture. We destroyed the things that we believe in. In fact, when Mao took over the Communist Party, when they took over, they came up with something called the Cultural Revolution. The essence of that was to get rid of all old ideas. They wanted to get rid of it. And this have never happened. The mustache man tried it, it didn't work. Mussolini tried it, it didn't work. Stalin tried it, it didn't work. Dole tried it, it didn't work. It's not going to work now. You cannot intimidate people because you are in power and anticipate that they're going to crawl. You can't get rid of everybody. Okay? When those children show up in that square, those people went ahead and just as the British people did with the Indian people in their own country. Okay? And the children protested. Yes, they beat them out like the way you are doing here today. They own a lot, plenty of them. Although the government reported it was 200, okay? But those who saw and reported, they said between 800 to 10,000 people were wounded and on alive. China continued to fight. Today, your leaders are living in luxury. They are building apartment complexes. They are building, they're traveling. Their children are going here, they're going there. Okay? Anybody who speaks, you silence them. If you have a lawmaker or a cabinet member or somebody in a position of power who want to stand up and be for the nation, be patriotic, you want to get rid of them because that's what you want to do to Yeke. Okay, but you are begging. You are here. You were just here 3 months ago. It's literally like Liberia is working for World Bank. Okay, your group was just here 3 months ago. You are back here to take some more loan, to divide among yourselves. I see they say China is giving us $3 million to rebuild our building. At what cost? Another thing is, why is China giving us money? Why? to rebuild your Capitol building. It's not to build schools, primary school. It's not to train teachers, to build for the future. Okay? China, before Mao Zedong's death, China had a GDP between $80 to $150. This is China. They were in abject poverty. Today, China are taking over 800 million people out of poverty. They give money to their citizens to go to other countries, invest, and open business to bring the money home. Okay? You steal it. You steal our money and carry it to other people's country. You add money in the budget. You take yours out. You come back. You recast. You come back. You reappropriate. Whatever you want to call it. We know what you're trying to do. All right? And that's what you're doing. Today, we saw that you beat up our children. I'm trying to find some of these children need, okay? And this weekend, I might have to host some of them. And I'm trying to find out. Is this the experience that we're talking about? Where is Darius DeLong, who was telling people not to touch anybody if they want to protest? It is the constitutional right. Where is Darius DeLong? I'm trying to find out where is DeLong. Where is DeLong? Where we're telling the CDC-led government not to touch anyone because it was the constitutional right. Okay? I will play this right here. This is DeLong, folks. History does not die. All right? I'm going to play this again. I'm not here for long. I've been off. So I will... Yes, DeLong. Here is DeLong telling us that what do you call it? Telling us that protest is a constitutional right. But today he's not talking that our children are being beaten in the streets, in the streets of Liberia. So let's play this and listen here and see where is Darius DeLong. Okay, so let's play that. Where is this post of I just did? Cyrus, where are you? Okay, it have not come through here, but I will play it when it comes on my screen. Okay. Now, you know, the amount of people say, man, you see that man, we told you that Bouaka was not the right person. That if you did not want Weah, your best bet was to find somebody new, to start all over, okay, with a new person. Everybody that were on that ticket, those two, especially those two political parties, we already knew them, okay? We knew what they were capable of. We knew what they have done, okay? I see some of you running all up and down here. With this person, and we are not talking. We didn't talk. We were here asking we had to speak to us. That will go stand on here pulpit to start talking tapata. We watched auditor disappear. We watched our children be brutalized, and we are watching them again. Nothing new here. Okay? We are watching the same gameplay over. This time, I call it, let's say, what time when we call it? They are more sophisticated. Okay, this particular group is more sophisticated. When Tal described in that time, he said you will get the only difference between CDC and UP is a sophisticated criminal and CDC were amateur. Okay, we watched when CDC beat up Salisu, naked him. For what reason? Because they protested. What were the protests? Fix the system, create job. And that was too much to ask for. And even the same police today, the regime police at the time, watched while those children were being beaten. Beaten. Naked. What's going on over here? Okay, let me see if I can pull this. The direct launch stuff is still trying to learn. So when you learn, I'll bring it. And I had it on my page before. Okay, let me try to see if I can yeah, let me see if I can share. If you are here, those of you who are here, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I'm talking about what transpired today in Liberia. Okay. And I am working on here. It's been a while since I've been on, just so you all know. I am returning. We will be on here Tuesday and Thursday. All right, until the summer, until school closed, and take some time off. And then when we come in the fall, we will be on radio in Liberia. That is the goal. Okay. Now, I just told you, we as a nation, 200 years, we're all going back. So and so that happened in 1980 is the reason we're not moving. That is a lie. The reason that we're not moving is we keep electing deficients, people who are deficient. We keep electing based on our tribe or our political party. We keep electing people based, allowing them to use us, okay, as a hemofolder, take off from place to place. All right. We know these people, they're telling you, we'll pay you $150. You're not asking them where you're getting the money from. You're not voting for people because they can do the job. You're voting for people because they give you a few dollars here. Okay. That's why we are where we are. So it's not because of that. Here is West Side. China. Liberia was richer than China in respect to GDP per capita in the 70s, in the 60s. Okay? Liberia was. How do we get behind? And somebody will say, well, it's because of the war. That is not a true statement. China fought over 20 years of civil war. They got a president, or whatever you call it, Mao Zedong, who established the Communist Party. He was an ironclad. In fact, he wanted to get rid of all the old ideas. He employed young children. In fact, they had a book called The Little Red Book, where he said everybody must follow. He wanted all the intellectuals gone. He wanted the lawyers dead. He wanted the educator. He did not. Mind you, China had built herself on knowledge. It was a nation where people respect you based on like the level of information you had. Then you got a leader who wanted to get rid of everybody, artists, anybody that could be influential. And that changed. He didn't die till 76. China was in a bad place 76. 4 years later, Liberia had her problem. Okay? So you're making an excuse for bad decision, constantly picking people who can do. You got an 80-some-year-old man who say he's 50, can barely talk, who when he leaves, he takes his son, and his son that we did not elect is running our country, who have no morals. I'm sorry. Okay? And you are telling her it is okay. People should not talk. This man was in Dole government. He had been in government before some of you were born. You would think he would come and say, you know what? And you people were telling us this puppet is humble. The puppet is this, is that. He building mansion left and right. You know, when I said this, and somebody called the Emirate Nicole here, when I said this to Emirate in 2016, 2017, 2018, oh yeah, don't talk like that. I said we need to do like they do in Singapore. You prosecute these people and prosecute their children. Then he said, oh, crime is not transferable. Indeed it is. This is not going to the store and stealing. This is taking the wealth of the nation that belongs to the nation, sabotaging the growth of the nation. Other children going to bed, dying prematurely, being uneducated, not being able to reach their full potential, but give all of that into their children. So the mansion that Bwaka is building, who would they go to? Will they go to the Liberian people? Or he will go to his children? Those who came before, who gave their children solid education, like the ones that who were in the government before, who early paid back their parents with jobs and education and scholarship, while your children struggle. Most of them can't read and write. They're yard boys. They're opening doors. They treat them the trash. I'm in Liberia. I've seen how Liberian people treat the least among them, especially for those who are living off of government. Okay? And we act like we don't see it. We act like we don't see it. And it's right there. So who gets to benefit? The children get to benefit. They get solid education. Knowledge is power. They are marketable. Because they send them to those who can do well, they send them to some of the best school because they can afford to. Okay? They build them a foundation. Why is Bwaka building it? So why did not finishing the mansion? Bwaka and Ellen were in power when the mansion was built. You know, when I heard when Ellen went over there the other day to say, sell the damn Liberia, since I failed in killing everybody, because that's what she said. I'm saying it and I don't give a flip what anybody else say. Sell Liberia. Okay? Give it to the highest buyer, because we know 90% of our people in the country cannot afford to build a house. We know 90% of the people in the country are unemployed. They're barely surviving. We know 90% of the people in the country live in abject poverty. 64% of them are living on less than $1.50 a day. She didn't go to speak to y'all about the rape epidemic in the nation that destroying the fabric of the nation, the young people, the old people, your boys and your girls. She didn't go to talk about that. She didn't go to talk about how out of every 3 children, one of them is malnourished. How women are dying in the hospital because they don't have money for operation in maternal health. She didn't go to talk about that. She went to talk about, I don't have any problem with Lebanese people, but I believe in reciprocity. Then when I asked the question to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and her children, okay, during our civil war, how many Liberian refugees did Lebanon take in? How many Liberians are living in Lebanon who got businesses, who can purchase land, who can own land? How many? She will not tell you. She can't tell you. But we know 2007, she transferred, or she and her Lebanese group transferred hundreds of millions of dollars allegedly to out of the country to Lebanon. In fact, she went to go visit. Now, people are popping up and telling us during the war, when our peacekeeper in your country are land under no law, under no circumstances, international law, that a peacekeeper can come to somebody's country, a nation under duress, a nation that people are scattered, a nation where people are holding on to straw just to survive, that you do a financial transaction. And the court itself, that's supposed to be now, will grant that and evict our people, that they have no conscience, that they have sold their soul for the position they're in. You know, my brother once told me, maybe that what happened to Boaka. My brother once told me he said, somebody told him a while ago. He used to call me kiddo. He said, kiddo, when you stay in politics too long, you sacrifice yourself and your dignity. If you are ever accorded the opportunity to do what you initially set out to do, it is almost impossible. You will not be able to do it because you have made so much deeds that you're compromised. But I can't say that's what happened to Boaka. Boaka has always been compromised. He has always been a liar. I'm sorry. Because he lied here. He lied and I told you guys that. And then when your culture say, if your culture say you cannot call an old person out for being dishonest, then that culture is dishonest. Then that culture need to be reevaluated and fixed. Okay? That culture needs to be revisited and it needs to be fixed. That's what it means. If your culture see the truth and they say because of the age of the person who commits fraud, who lies, you can't speak the truth to them, then we have a problem. Okay? Then we have a problem. Because, let me say this in Nima, they say, okay? When you want to build a house, you need a schematics. If you need to plot a map, you need to have the old map. That's the schematics. So if you're going to use the exact example of the old map that is crippled, that has problem, you're going to use the same exact product, a crippled map, unless you pay attention and go through it with a fine-tooth comb and fix that which is broken. Okay? Unless you did that, and then that's the only way it can be. But if you don't, you will have problem on your hand. And this is where we are. This is where we are as a nation. Because we have refused to fix the problem on our hand. We have refused because we say because of age, because of this, because of that. That's what we are doing. And if this is what we are doing, then there's work that needs to be done. We have failed our children, and we have failed our children's children. I'm trying to get this Tyrus Dillon stuff to play it. Now, the people who are talking about treason, let's talk about Joseph Boaka. Joseph Boaka during the elections, you'll find that video. During the election, Boaka says, if he does not win, there will be no Liberia, so to speak. That's what he said. Okay? That's exactly what Boaka said. If he does not win, there will be no Liberia. So this man was willing to destroy the country if he does not become president. But that was not treason. That was not treason. He threatened the state. Joseph Boakai threatening the state. Oh, and for you who out here, that was not treason. To destroy the country was not treason. But because somebody say, from the information that I have, okay, from the information that I have, okay, folks. I want you to see this. This is Liberia today. That's why these police guys, these policemen need to go. Because every government they come in, they do the same thing. They're a bunch of old rebels or new rebels. And every government they come in, they abuse the citizen. They abuse the citizen over and over and over again. Where is mine? Lord have mercy. Where is my string, y'all? Okay, let me play this for y'all. Y'all look out here. This is Liberia today. Okay, I have no copyright to this video. So let's say, where is this? Who is this? Look at them. You see them? This is abuse. This is abuse. They brought it. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, what did I just see? I just see somebody was trying to hit me. This is completely ludicrous, okay? This is injustice. This is wrong. It was wrong yesterday and it's wrong today. It was wrong yesterday and it is wrong today, okay? It was wrong yesterday and indeed it is wrong today. And I'm just telling y'all, it was wrong yesterday. It is wrong today. I want everybody to know that. It was wrong yesterday and it is wrong today. Okay? That's why I need everybody to know. It was wrong yesterday. It still is wrong and it's wrong today. Okay? And I need everybody to know that. You're beating up young people because they went to protest. They're asking you to create jobs for them. They're asking you to create opportunities for them, okay? But, hello? All the people who stood with us yesterday, today, the same thing is happening now. They can't talk, okay? They can't talk because that's their government. Okay, because that's their government. I am trying to play this and it's not coming up for some reason. And today, Mr. Cummings wrote, and I see majority of you coming for him. Everything he said was correct. Everything that Alexander Cummings said was correct. Okay? Everything he said, that is what he said yesterday about y'all. When he stood up for y'all. Minipakwe Des Moines, what his name? Patrick Honda. Okay, in fact, Patrick Honda threatened the state. We stood out for him. So you can't come today to go off on him, but we're waiting for y'all. Okay. We hear Darius Dillon say they know how to win. Yeah, we know y'all know how to win. We all know how to stop the ballot. You know how to call in fake numbers and register it. Okay, we know that. We know y'all know how to do that. But this time we will be ready. I just want you to know that. We will be ready. Okay, we will be ready. I'm going to post this right here on my page and I'm going to play it. This is Darius Dillon right here doing CDC. So I'm going to play this because I want to play this and then I can take that down or I can write a commentary on it. I think I have some already on my stuff. So here where I'm going to go to my Facebook up here and see where I am. And then I'm going to play that. Okay, it had not posted yet. Okay, so to finish up, I'm going to read Councillor Goncalves' post that he made today concerning the issue with, I see some people coming based on their, what do you call it, their criminal justice that they study, they this, that. Tiawan did not just study criminal justice, he's a lawyer. He was a solicitor general. He represented Liberia on the international scene. He has fought for Liberia for years, okay? So he's not just, I know he took his time to go through here and read that. So here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and read exactly what Tiawan wrote, okay? And I'm gonna read it for, okay, here we are. Not the one that I wrote, okay? Give me 1 second. Where is that? Oh, I think I got it under here. So it writes, Tiawan wrote, law, power, and confusion. The Yeka Koluba impeachment or exposure missteps. In the interest of public education in the law, I write this commentary to clarify the legal issues surrounding the recent call to impeach or expel Honorable Yeka Koluba. Liberia is once again confronted with moment that tests our understanding of laws and governance. The communication from the Inspector General of Police called on the House of Representatives to take action against Honorable Yeka Koluba for treason is not only misplaced, it is legally unsound and constitutionally dangerous. Liberian people hear that, okay? Let us be clear. If the Inspector General believes that Honorable Yeka Koluba has committed treason, the law provides a straightforward course: arrest, charge, and prosecute before a court of competent jurisdiction. Treason is a criminal offense, not a political accusation to be resolved through impeachment or exposure. The legislature is not a criminal court and cannot determine guilt or innocence for such an offense, okay? The attempt to impeach or expel Honorable Yeka Koluba on the basis of alleged criminal offense, such as treason, is a serious legal mistake. Impeachment or exposure cannot be used as a substitute for criminal prosecution. Where a crime is alleged, the proper course under the law is arrest, charge, trial before a court of competent jurisdiction. To proceed otherwise is to blur the lines between political authority and judicial power, hereby undermining the doctrine of separation of power and setting a dangerous precedent for misuse of legislative authority. No one is above the law. When I served as the Solicitor General of Liberia, I led the indictment of 2 sitting senators. They were taken through the courts, not removed through political processes. That is how accountability works in a constitutional democracy. As we teach, as one teaches law and politics at the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law, I must emphasize a fundamental principle. Politics without the control of the law is chaos. No government should place politics above the law. When law is subordinated to a political convenience, institution weaken, and democracy itself is in danger. Equally important is the protection of freedom of speech. In a democracy, a statement, even one that appears controversial or contrary to rational sentiment, does not automatically amount to treason. Around the world, lawmakers routinely make statements critical of their own government without being criminalized. For the example, Bernie is always on the other side, publicly criticized U.S. military action against Iran as a violation of international law. He was not accused of treason. He exercised his constitutional right to speak and to question government policy. The allegation concerning the Mokana River, reportedly raised by the Yeke Koluba, may be serious, but it requires investigation, not political reaction. I have therefore called on Joseph Boakai to establish a commission of inquiry, following example of William R. Tolbert after April 14, 1979 riot protests. The statement made by Honorable may be properly served as a basis for inviting him to appear before such commission to provide evidence in support of his claim. Other Liberians with relevant or contrary information may also be invited to testify. At the conclusion of this work, the commission will submit a report to the president, clarifying the facts, identifying the issues, and making recommendation for what? Resolution and the prevention of future occurrence. Liberia must resist the temptation to substitute law with power. If the House proceeds to impeach or expel Honorable Yeke Koluba on this basis, it will be a serious legal mistake that undermines constitutional order. The law must guide politics, not the other way around. That said, my time here is over. Two powerful people spoke today. I want to say thank you to Councillor Tianwan Gonklo and to Honorable Alexander Cummings. Okay. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for adding your voice. We have been talking about this. And let me say to all of you here, Liberia boundaries, Liberia issue with Guinea have been ongoing since 1885. Okay. 1917. And it went on and on and on. That's not the first time. If we are getting different information, this government has a responsibility. I'd like to know. Me as a Liberian, as an educator, as somebody who teaches government, okay, and history, I'd like to know. I'd like to know what is the actual boundaries of my nation. I want to know the physical future of Liberia and the political future of Liberia. How is it divided? Or the continent for that matter. Remember, our country was divided based on what the imperialists thought were beneficial to them. And the essence of that is they did not want to fight among themselves. So they scattered us. They divided kingdoms. Before the imperialists settled, we lived in group. We lived as tribes, people who understood each other, okay? We didn't live like divided. We didn't have, like, for instance, you got Mana people across the river in Guinea, Manaki people across the river in Liberia. Naturally, before all of this came to, or before even the love of liberty came and met us there, we live together. We are the same tribes. I have family people in Guinea. And from Agiosa, I have family people in Ivory Coast. And it goes on. The same thing that happened in Africa is what disturbing in what we call yesterday pressure. Southwest Asia, the Sykes-Picot Agreement. When they came, they took the people and they split it. The Kurds, who are the largest minority group, have no land. They asked them to fight with them. After the win, they were going to give them their own land. They did not. They did that with the Indians. They said, come to World War I with us. When we win, we'll give you more political power. It was a lie. They took, if you go to where you call those days, okay, the Indian were the one that were making silk. They were one who had the best cloth in the country, in the world. Guess what? They told them they could not make clothes for themselves. They would take the cotton instead and take it to England, then bring it back to sell it to them until Gandhi showed up. Because before they were fighting based on tribal line and religious group, the Hindus, the Islam, okay? Until Gandhi came and said, we cannot do that until we do it as a team. So my time here is over. I want to say thank you to all of you who tuned in tonight. Please go ahead and share if you are here. Okay, I'm back. I will see you on Thursday night. I will have these videos and I will play them. Let me put my YouTube line out here to see so I can have it on my page. Okay, so this is where we are in so many words. Okay, again, my name is Yasini Martin Peye, a war survivor, a mother, an educator. Okay, okay. We need to hear Pape Boaka. I'm gonna close mine here with hopefully this stuff I show up with Darius DeLong. Where is it? I'm gonna play this. Last year, Boaka minister, and I'm not done with this young man yet. I will deal with that. People think I forgot him or I left it. No, I have not. I read in my letters. Liberia, I will deal with Liberia last. This dude called Yeke, threatened him. They never question him. They never charge him. There we go. Okay, there he is. But Yeke talk about borders, and then it's a problem. Listen, y'all listen.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, Mike, you were calling me yesterday. I just missed your call again. How are you, sir?
Let me tell you something. I don't want to lie to you. I'm a trained man from Russia. I spent 2 years in Russia. If you continue to be insulting the president, calling the president's name, I swear to Allah, we will be missionary to kill you.
For true?
If you don't have it, don't never trust me.
Okay, Mark. I'll be with you. I will be with you
If
for.
you're not happy, tell me, Maringo, talk.
Okay.
If you continue to insult the president, we will kill you. I swear to God.
Okay. Okay,
I
Mark.
can't 3 weeks from now, what's going to happen to you?
Okay, Mark.
You guys are very foolish. Why are you being insulting the president every day?
Okay, Mark.
Why are you being insulting the president?
Okay, Mark. Okay, man.
That was Joseph Boaka, minister that he appointed. And at this time, he was not confirmed. The Liberian Senate confirmed him. Even after threatening a city lawmaker, they still confirm him. The Liberian Senate still confirm him. Okay? The very people now that are saying what they're saying because somebody say, according to the information that I have, okay, or that land belong to Guinea. If you say according to the information he had, they will learn big money. We're not in court pleading it. So tell us the document that you have, because myself want to know. Yeah, Darius Delon here.
We are not demanding or calling for the president to step down. On December 30, I will be there. We are coming outside to ask the president some questions about our petition we submitted
to protest.
June 7th.
Okay. So here we go. We are coming out here. Where we are.
Himself is on this video. I know who come under my video for me to know that the president himself is watching. So I'm speaking directly to the president right now. Thankfully, he will not say he here. I know he here.
The president at the time at George Weirdo.
Common sense, wisdom should inform the or the hit thereof. It is about preserving the country. It's a situation in the country, the poor bad governance over. I'm ready. If us stepping down will say about our petition we submitted June 7th. You are not weak because
that was Darius Delon talking to. They're coming outside. And in fact, he told them not to touch Henry Costa when he comes in. If Henry Costa come in and they touch him, the protest will begin the same day. That's Darius Delon. And we're not hearing from him. We'll talk to you later. Good night, everyone. Thank you. It's good to be back. Again, it's Yasini Martin Payet. I'm going to go get ready for bed. Tomorrow is work. God bless you all. And let me say good night to all of you. Okay, here we go. Where is my media space? I need to make me a short video.